to the pop culture cosmos.
And we're back with another episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Lakers latest, and also Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us for every time out. We're here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. And if you're one of the great radio stations that still plays us after all these years, we are indebted to you for playing our show almost 500 weeks filled of pop culture goodness with the Pop Culture Cosmos, indeed. But it wouldn't be a Pop Culture Cosmos without my good friend. He is back and back in the saddle again. He is riding out whatever storms there are as far as like, wreak havoc across the country. Indeed, it is my good friend, the guy behind the Happy Hoarder, the guy behind the Plucky Gamer, the guy behind Humanica Media. It is Josh the Great Pederson. What's up, man?
So I'm a busy boy these days. I gotta
How are
ask
the
you,
kids? How are you and the family feeling? First off,
they're good, man. It's like one kid gets sick, it whoosh, washes through the entire house, and like I did not catch the flu or the pink eye, luckily, but I was basically like stuck. I was the baby person, for the past 2 weeks. So anytime I had to be there. I had to be there and ready for them because my wife's still out doing the Girl Scout cookie business.
yes, which
So
I'm still waiting for, by the way. That
are you
robot.
serious? I sent them out. Did they not get there?
I'm still waiting.
Oh my gosh, man! I sent them out last week. All right. Well, I'll have to figure out what's going on with that.
Hey, we've already had this. I already have my girl served with honor for years, with
Yeah.
sitting out in front of every imaginable Home Depot, Walmart, and and Costco out there. We suffered under the cold, windy days in January and late and early February in front of Bass Pro Shops here in Las Vegas, and yet no love from the Girl Scouts at all when you need them the most for some cookies. It's okay.
Oh man, I know. I packed them in a box last week and I shipped them off. I expected they'd be at your place by now, but
It's okay. I've already walked by like 3 already and say, "No, I'm waiting for Josh's. I'm waiting
I
for
know,
Josh."
man. I know. Yeah. All right. Hey, I gotta ask you a question.
Sure.
All right, we have this has been a big week for the old Pokemans, all right? And plus we're moving into the 30th anniversary week.
Mhm.
What do you think about this like madness where you have these 40-year-old and over people who are sitting there scalping Pokemon cards, but it's gotten to the point where I know we talked about this before, but it's gotten to the point now where like every time you turn on the news, especially in the past couple of weeks, you see that somebody somewhere has broken into a Pokemon card store and stolen like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cards.
Yeah, I saw the one in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos, the shorts of the people at card shows
Mhm.
taking like valuable Charizards and whatnot. Yeah, it's a shame. And then of course we see the fist fights at Costco. TJ, who works for Costco.
Yeah.
Um, we've talked about this many times before. I said, you guys just like put the pallet there and just run for your lives.
Yeah, for real, man.
I'm just gonna say this. As someone who ran game stores before, I don't want to say that being a reseller is bad, because you know what? I watch all the reseller videos, video game reseller, Pokemon reseller videos, and wish I had done that. It is something that I do have remorse over, that I wish I had been more involved. And I see the success that Doug and Nicole have had with Retro City Games. Now they've got, partially because of Pokemon, they're now at the Caesar's Forum shops because of what they do and what they have and what they sell.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of envy, and I know I would fit in that 40 and 50-year-old guy scouting garage sales and scouting other places, thrift shops and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
It's
had I had I done it all over again, I would be right there as well. So I don't want to be too much of a hypocrite, if that makes sense.
No, no, okay, so it's not that. It's not that. That's fine, like there because there are, there are
Well,
collectors out there, but like when you're out there and you're taking more than you need so that you can resell them and there's like a little kid waiting in line
oh well,
behind you,
that
like
of course, yeah, that's bad.
that's
Yeah.
a whole different thing because you have like these grown men who are sitting there like filling their shopping carts with every single thing on the shelf, and these little kids aren't getting a chance to open a card game that's actually made for them. And then you have a lot of people on the other hand too who are actually quitting their jobs to become full-time Pokemon scalpers. Like that's what kills me about this whole thing.
Again, I can't blame you for that. If it prevents a child from understanding and growing up and wanting and not getting Pokemon, I get it. I understand that. But there's also hundreds and of thousands of not valuable Pokemon cards, like less than $5 Pokemon cards that can get you started, that you can go into a card shop and pick, based off of what character they like to an extent as well. There, not every card is like, a
Yeah.
$25,000 Charizard. Most cards are under $5 or less. So I understand that while you are not don't want your kid to be fighting with the guys, the 50-year-olds that would be fighting in the middle of because I've seen these displays at Costco. I get that. I understand. I empathize with that. But I just think as also as well that there are ways where kids can go in and go to a card store and still buy their share of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but I mean, kids should be able to feel that feeling of like being able to open a pack of cards though,
That's
instead of having
and
to
then
keep.
I understand that part I get, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
Okay.
it's just it's such a mixed bag, like there are people who scalp with honor, I guess you could say, and then there are those that just like don't care. Like it becomes a very selfish hobby.
Yeah, I hear you, I hear you, I understand. But if you're someone as someone, who I'm speaking to that does resell Pokemon cards, I know that you keep to an extent of where you want your reselling to go, and I get that. I understand that as well.
It's funny because like I don't do like that a lot anymore. Like I'll go onto like eBay and I'll buy cases of stuff, but I try not to like go into the stores unless I'm buying for like my personal
Mm.
collection. I try not to be that person anymore because like I've
Oh,
found that
the Target 7 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, I found that I don't like that, so like I try to just shop like, in bulk in places where like I'm not taking from somebody.
Well, you know us as a culture, we like to go ahead and pounce on whatever's, hot or trending, and definitely Pokemon has been trending up for the past few years. I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about the video game cycle around the pandemic skyrocketing in value, and now it's obviously not having that same value and effect, but Pokemon
Yeah. Yeah.
still continued to go up, my friend. It's now big business.
Oh man, I knows it.
There you go, indeed. But if you have questions out there or comments or thoughts on the Pokemon craze, we'd love to hear from you right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But before we get into the Video Game Fantasy League, Josh, I spoke to TJ at length while he was driving from the Midwest to the East Coast the other day. We had a chance to go ahead and have some time to talk about the Xbox changes at the head with Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond, the number two and chief I guess is this she was yeah, COO. She is gone. And in her place is Asha Sharma, moving over from Microsoft OpenAI to lead the company going forward, along with Matt Booty being moved up into Chief Content Officer. Your thoughts, my friend, on the Xbox changes and where the brand will go from here?
Okay, so like what's funny is like I was shocked and surprised at this news, but also I wasn't, because Phil Spencer had been talking about stepping down for a while, but also like I feel like he was doing that because there was there's internal pressure. I forget what the CEO of Microsoft's name is, but like I know that he has never liked the gaming department, and he has been I feel like a lot of the decisions that Microsoft has made he's been a key factor, or as far as like laying off developers and things go. I feel like he's been a key factor there. What scares me about, and I think that like the goal was to get rid of Phil Spencer and anybody loyal to him, and I think that that's why we saw, these departures. But then I look at the move of like Asha, I forget what her last name is,
Asha Sharma is
Asha
her.
Sharma stepping in,
Yes.
and I think to myself, this is there. You don't take somebody who's in charge of AI unless there's a reason for it. So I think that the goal Microsoft is trying to move towards is AI oriented development. I think that's where they're going.
Well, she has said one in her first statement, as far as, well, actually, one of the first couple statements, she also did say that we hear you when it comes to the exclusivity for Xbox products. Once again, when somebody was shouting out about that on Twitter. Also, the fact that she mentioned in her opening statement that it would not contain AI slop is the actual word she used, but she didn't say it wouldn't contain AI. So
That's it, right? She's saying slop. So I mean, it'll probably be very well tailored AI, but I think that they're trying to find a way to make the gaming department as cheap as possible. And that this is also, but this also like leads me to believe that so PlayStation just shut down the studio that did the
Blue Point,
yeah, the one that did like the uh
couple remakes, correct?
Dark Souls remake. Yeah. So
Yes.
they shut them down. Microsoft has already shut down a couple of studios over the past like year and a half. So this is leading me to believe that we're going to see more like this, because I feel like they're going to trim the gaming stuff as much as possible, or trim the cost in the gaming stuff. And if they don't reach that bottom line, we're going to see the gaming stuff like almost completely disappear, because it's I don't they so they have never. Phil Spencer's always been like, he stood up for the gamers, to the extent that he was able to, but I don't think Microsoft has ever like really profited a lot off of the gaming, if that makes sense.
Well,
So I
they have been with their software sales as of late. If you remember
yeah,
the success of Forza Horizon 5, but like you said, that's just a drop in a bucket. I mean, as I told with
compared to
TJ,
everything else, yeah.
yeah, the day that Xbox for multi-generational hit was E3 2013, when Don Matrick said what he said and did what he did.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Xbox One was doomed from there on. And
Mhm.
the thing is, they were able to have the chance and opportunity to recover. I think the failure of Xbox One is on Don Matrick. I think the failure of the Xbox Series, for such two great values. In fact, a couple years ago, we were talking about what great value this was, with a 250 console, a 350 console, price wise, and then also $20 a month on Game Pass for first drop in games. And yeah, what is such a sensational value, and they never promoted it. They never promoted, correct. All they care about is this is Xbox. They came out with, at the beginning of this generation, with no games, and the support was very scattered and well ill-timed, and
Yeah.
really just not done that very, very well at all, until they finally got their act together too little too late in 2020, late 2024. So it's so many things you could point to, but basically, whatever Don Matrick did and said in 2013 killed the Xbox One. Whatever Phil Spencer did and said about the Xbox Series killed the Xbox Series. He needs to own the Xbox Series as failure, because that is something that could have resurrected the brand and didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I don't, sort of, because I don't know behind, like, from what I understand, what I've read about the tensions at Microsoft, I feel like Phil's hands were tied in a lot of situations, because like
But
he
not in
did
2019, leading up to the launch in
not in
2020.
yeah, right, not there, but I mean in recent years, I feel like he's been kind of I mean, even in watching him in interviews and like the Xbox presentations, like he's not the same Phil Spencer he once was. So it's hard to know like what was going on behind the scenes there. But I mean, yeah, he's essentially become the fall guy for this whole scenario. So I don't know what to think, man. I don't know what the future is going to hold. You know, if Microsoft's going to go strictly to AI development, like that might be a cue for gamers to get off of the Xbox train. You know, like this is it kind of takes the soul out of it, if that makes sense.
Yep, that's true. I mean, with only really one or two notable exclusive games for now on the Xbox, it's going to become a wait and see if this brand will resurrect themselves. But
Yep.
they now have the former CEO of Microsoft OpenAI, Asha Sharma, now in charge, along with Matt Booty as Chief Content Officer. So we will see. But if you have thoughts out there, I wanted to get Josh's thoughts we talked about Xbox. TJ and I have talked about Xbox for years. Josh and I have talked about Xbox since day one of this show. We want the brand to survive. We want the brand to thrive, but I don't know if it will. We will have to wait and see. Now are some precarious times, but if you have thoughts out there on Xbox, please let us know. Popculturecosmos at yahoo.com. But Josh, without further ado, 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 I wanted to go ahead and make sure that you got involved in the fun. TJ and I had a great time with both the video game and movie adaptations as far as the fantasy league. So I cannot leave my good friend Josh Pederson out. So we are going to go and run it ourselves. It is, of course, the video game fantasy league. I'm going to go ahead and let me see, digital flip coin flip. We're going to use a coin flip app to see if we can go and choose who we'll be picking first. I'm going to hide this on stream here and share screen. I understand. Just a flip right there. All right. All right. So with that said, heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Got to get around this ad here. You win. You get first pick, my friend, which means I'll get first pick when we do the movies.
Okay.
So with that, you get first pick. This is based off everyone, like I said, our 10 picks, 2 alternates in case a game gets out or we want to sub in a game as far as that's concerned. And then the overall Metacritic average, it's basically, I will total out. Let's say get, 84, 84, 89, 92. I add them all up and get it the highest average, and the total will be counted in there. So with that said, my friend, it is based off of Metacritic score for games released this year, starting this week. And that includes Resident Evil Requiem, because as of this recording, there is no Metacritic score yet. So I want to hear your thoughts, my friend, on your first pick for the video game fantasy league for Josh and I.
Okay. All right. So I was talking to Brian about this the other day, and
Watch out.
I know, you gotta look out there.
Next year, hopefully we will be able to get him involved. That would be great to get him involved again.
Yeah, that'd be. But we're talking about how even after all this stuff with Phil Spencer, there's been no news on any games like coming out this year, right? So it's hard to know. Like usually, normally by this time every year, there's that you have at least like a decent idea of like what's coming out when. But like you go on even Game Informer's list, and there's like hardly anything. Like the list of TBD games is like massive down on the bottom of the page. Like it's crazy. So I'm just all of this that I'm about to do is all just speculation. Okay.
There's also a lot of these games have said 2026 in their upcoming trailers.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we know in the gaming industry, right? Nothing ever goes according to plan. So
it's true.
All right. So I'll give you my first pick here. I'm gonna do Forza Horizon 6.
Ooh, nice. Because that was actually I believe. Oh no, I picked GTA 6 first, and I got that with my second pick with TJ. So Forza Horizon 6. Why would you go with Forza Horizon 6 above one of the the most obvious successful video game money wise that will probably come out this year?
I don't think it's gonna come out this year.
All right.
I'm standing on that hill. I don't think it'll be out this year. Also, Forza Horizon 6 is probably the safest game that you can pick for 2026 because
this is true.
It consistently gets 9s, right? And this is a game that is slated to come out. There's actually been, that like you said, they've said 2026 for sure. So it's the safe pick, man. I'm doing it.
All right. So with that, I'm going to go with the unsafe pick. And I'm going to take a risk because that's why we have alternates. I'm going to go with GTA 6. GTA 6. So there you go. So I am going to take the plunge. What's up, Drip Show? Great to have you here, my friend. It is the Video Game Fantasy League. Go ahead and if you're listening and watching out there, please give some love to my friend at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. I do have pillows, canvas art, shirts, hats. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can get today from at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter for your customized pop culture and sports needs. So right there, you can tell I've run a promo all the time on Lakers Fast Break with him, but Drip's a great guy. Drip's a great guy indeed. So I have picked GTA 6 for the first pick in my team. What is next for you for Video Game Fantasy League?
Okay. I'm gonna call it Wolverine. I think Wolverine's coming out this year.
Wow, Marvel's Wolverine. There you go.
They have to. They have to. They're in a spot where it has to come out. It's like they don't really have a choice. It has to come out.
It is as of the state of play. It is a 2026 release. I did not say the date, but last week's state of play, or was it? Yeah, a little over a week ago, they did say as far as it was a 2026 release. So Marvel's Wolverine. To give you an idea, that was on TJ's. He was his fifth pick. To give you an idea, so Marvel. I think we were less sure that it was going to come out, but. Right now, it's good to go for Josh right there at pick number 2. For me, I'm going to go with Resident Evil Requiem. I know that the game is already out in the wild, even though it's not supposed to be. And Street Date is, yeah. Who cares about Street Date, right? We never did back in 2008. So, who cares about Street Date, right? So, but there is no, I guess, Metacritic yet on it, so I am picking Resident Evil Requiem. I love Village. It looks fantastic. It plays fantastic, and it's got overwhelmingly great scores. The Resident Evil games, when they're done right, the mainline Resident Evil games mostly have Metacritic scores in the 80s and 90s. So I am going to go with Resident Evil Requiem right there as my number 2. What is your number 3 pick for you next, my friend?
I'm actually going to take a page from your book, and I'm going to say Resident Evil Requiem.
I already did. Yeah,
I can't pick Resident Evil Requiem.
No.
Oh man. Okay, I gotta rethink my list here because I feel like
you cannot steal each other. This is like fantasy footballs because once you take the player, yeah. So
okay.
Trust me, I would have been copying because TJ was picking all my picks ahead of me. And I was like, oh, that was my next pick. That was my next pick.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go through some of this stuff here. Okay, so I'm gonna say for my next one, I am going to say oh shoot, hold on. What was the name? I've missed the name of it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay.
Got it.
I'm gonna say I think Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, I think, is going to be.
Let me go ahead and make sure I got that right. Okay. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Yoshi series usually gets solid scores across.
It's a safe bet, man.
Yes. And the release date on that is it's listed as a 2026 release date, but yes, so there you go. And then Nintendo. How can you argue with that? So,
yeah,
very good pick, very interesting pick, and it should really score well with the fans out there. Yes, you can do remakes, and you can do you could do those remakes where we are. if it's a release, like even the God of War remakes, whatnot, yeah, that you can do that. We are allowing those on there, Josh. By the way, as well. Just want to let you know. Uh,
Okay.
just to let you know, if you want to, if you know it's coming out in 2026, let's put it that way, and you know it's going to get a score from Metacritic, even if it's a repro or remake from from the past, like again the God of War trilogy or whatnot. So we will include that on the list as well. So my third pick, whew, that is a good question. Where am I going to go with here? I'm going to go. I've put this high up on my list with TJ. I'm going to probably put it up here as well. Replaced, which is I think one of the few we talked about um, the Xbox exclusives, Josh. And I don't know if you're familiar with Replaced. It's a really cool looking 2.5D cyberpunk Blade Runner noir-ish type game. It is getting a really good looks so far, and I think that it's going to continue to do that all along to where the point where it's going to really get some really strong love out there. People have played the demo and really liked what they've seen so far. So yes, I am choosing Replaced as my third pick.
Okay. All right.
You are number 4, my friend.
All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna do Fable.
Nice. Fable indeed. That is a 2026 release date as well. I'm sure you've seen what the developers direct, what they've done and showcased off so far. So Fable, the return of Fable by this time by Playground Games. It even had Peter Molyneux, the original creator of Fable, all
Nice.
misty-eyed when he saw it.
Praising it, man.
Yes. Now he also has a game coming out too with what something of Alberon, or yeah, just letting you know that he has a game coming out scheduled for 2026 release as well. So Josh is so far Forza Horizon 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and Fable. GTA 6 for me, Resident Evil Requiem, Replaced. I'm gonna go with what am I gonna choose? Boy, if I have a risk there. I'm not yet gonna go down that frame. I'm gonna go with Halo Combat Evolved as my fourth pick. So I'm gonna go with that. It isn't the one detraction might be that it might get a lower score because there's no multiplayer involved, but I think that it will be a faithful recreation of the game that scored well for Xbox so many years ago. So we will go with that. Your fifth pick, my friend, on this span. This is going faster, a lot faster than it did with TJ and I.
I'm gonna do Gears of War E-Day.
Oh, yes, I was toggling between those two. All right, so Gears of War E-Day, which has a 2026 release.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. Absolutely, a great pick right there. Why go with Gears of War? You're sure that it's going to be a 2026 release date?
I feel like Microsoft's in a spot where they have to put these things out. I mean, they've told us nothing. We don't know what we're looking forward to. We know for sure sort of that Forza Horizon will come out, but we have to have Halo. Because I'm on the fence about Halo. So there has to be something. A tentpole game has to come out this year, and I feel in my bones it's going to be Gears of War E-Day.
Okay, fair enough. So there we go. Gears of War E-Day. I hope it comes out. I really do. I would love to see that game happen. Again, as a return to the series and hopefully a successful one, because it did kind of lose its way as most of the Xbox IPs have, with Halo and Gears of War both losing their way. So hopefully they will come back strong with Gears of War E-Day, especially with what's upcoming, possibly a movie on the way with Gears of War as well. So My next pick. Hmm. I'm going to go with the Metal Gear Solid collection.
Mm,
That's yes. So I'm going to go with that one. Again, thinking that it's going to score well. It's going to be remade well. How can Konami screw this up? Right? How can they screw this up? How can they screw this up? Oh, that's for you. So I got to put it in mine. But yes, I mean, how could they screw this up? Right? I mean, all signs seem to point that it's going to be a good collection coming out. Should be no problems with Konami making it happen, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. But again, the Metal Gear Solid collection is my number 5 pick. Yes, Drip Show app. That's what I'm going to go with because I really think that the Metal Gear Solid collection is something that's a save. They're all well received. They're all much beloved. I think some refinements were necessary to make it updated to a 2026 lifestyle, and I think that Konami they can't screw it up. Josh, can they?
uh, um, no.
It is Konami. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So we are 5 down each of both of us. Josh, what is your 6th pick in the world of video games?
Okay. Hold on. I'm crossing things off of my list here that I've already done. Okay. So I am going to roll the dice here. All right. I'm gonna say 007 First Light.
You took that away from me. That's what I picked on. Uh, Great choice. This is a game I'm going to pre-order. Um, this is a game that I chose, and I got TJ Johnson mad because he wanted it. That was my third. Actually, no, that was his third pick. Yeah, he got that third pick. So both you guys dissed me. So on that, oh man. So yes, this is your 6th pick, 007 First Light. It is a game that I'm going to pre-order. I haven't done that. The
Well,
last time
here's
I
a
did,
good game.
it looks good. I mean, it's got the IO Interactive. It's got IO Interactive involved. The makers of Hitman. So
Mhm.
it's got a great pedigree. It's come out. It's gotten some really good looks as far as they've shown in previews. It'll be the first game I pre-order since Uncharted 4, to give you an idea. And I
Yeah.
remember that story. I've told you this story on the air before. I went to the young lady who was at the GameStop, and I said, "I'd like to pre-order Uncharted 4." And she said, "Which console?"
Oh,
And that is the last time I've stepped foot in a GameStop.
yeah. What
So,
console?
yeah,
Do you even game, bro? Is what you should have asked her.
yeah. I just like, yeah. So, uh, still remember that to this day. But my friend, we're
Mhm.
now up to my 6th pick. Oh, that is you took one a good way from me. Oh man. I'm gonna go with Control Resonant. Um,
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. All right.
it is the sequel to the 2019 or 2020 Game of the
Yeah.
Year. The only catch is they are doing some really different design changes with it, so it may not have achieved that same kind of level of success. But I am going with it based off of the name Control Resonant that will at least garner something in the 80s. At this point, we're not going for games that we know are going to make the 90s. We're going to go for games that we know they're going to reach the 80s. And I think Control and the name and the fact that the studio had, I mean, Alan Wake 2 wasn't a bad game at all, but it didn't achieve the success sales wise as what they were hoping for. But I think score wise, I think Control Resonant might be a good pick there.
All right. Hey, I'm about to pick the safest safe game that anybody could ever pick. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Pokopia.
Yes, I know you were going to do that one. I wanted to say that one for you, my friend, because Pokemon Pokopia. Actually, that was the first pick for TJ to give you an idea on that one.
It's probably going to get in the 90s. I have a feeling it'll be in the 90s.
Well, there you go. Pokemon Pokopia, well picked there. Um, uh, I'm thinking it might do very well. It's usually it'd be a solid in the 80s, that's for sure. I think that that game will find its level of success uh, with Nintendo fans, and I think they will not below that with Pokemon Pokopia either. I'm gonna go with one of the few Sony first party games that they have announced and released that is a for sure thing, and that is our Soros from Housemarque. So this one could be a big risk, could be a game in the 60s or 70s, but I have a feeling with Returnal, which was a pretty good, well scored game, I'm going to see that they find even more success with Soros. Your thoughts, my friend, on Soros for the PS5?
I mean, hold on, I need to refresh myself on what this game is.
It got an the return will give you an idea. It was an 86 on Metacritic when it
Oh,
came out.
yes. Okay. I mean, I think it looks cool. I don't I the Returnal was really hard. So I don't know how eager I am to play. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks like the type of game Sony's known for, the narrative driven cinematic game of the PlayStation variety.
Okay, so Soros is my game. I picked it at number 5 on my list with TJ, and now I pick it. I think it's 7. Yes, right there for you. So we're now up to pick 8. This is the Video Game Fantasy League. It's Josh Pederson along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate you doing so. So with that, my friend, number 8 on your Video Game Fantasy League list.
Okay, Pragmata.
Ooh, this one was not picked, I think, by either of us before. So you have chosen a nice something out of the framework of what's going on. So yes, absolutely. Cannot disagree with you. That Pragmata could be a really big hit. So we'll see what's is there a release day for it yet, or is it just a 2026 release?
It's just 2026. So I'm predicting October, but who
Okay.
knows?
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I want to see what happens with that. Um, I'm going to go with a game that is always been very much beloved, but it's going to come out a remake, and so I will say that Fatal Frame 2 remake that's coming out in March is going to be my next pick right there. So I'm going with Fatal Frame 2. And that's going to be the Fatal Frame 2 pick right there for you. So I just think, again, it is a very much beloved series. It does not sell great, but it has its own niche audience, but it's very much beloved by the people who play it. And Fatal Frame seems to really get some pretty decent scores. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that, my friend. So, what is your next pick, my friend?
Okay. Silent Hill Townfall.
I see. I know these Pokemon, Silent Hill. These are Josh go-to games.
Oh, heck yeah, they are. Heck
Si-
yeah.
so Silent Hill Townfall is number 9. Why go with Silent Hill Townfall? Because Silent Hill has had a rough patch, especially if the movie side, as we've seen already this year. But Silent Hill has had some ups and downs as far as it's concerned.
So the games have had a definite resurgence. You know, look at Silent Hill F, right? That one scored in the 8s and 9s. Silent Hill 2 remake got 8s and 9s. So I think it's safe to say that this next one's gonna probably be more of the same.
Okay. All right. I'm very interested to see if that's going to be the case. This might be my biggest risk, but because it's about it for a company that's in a lot of turmoil now. But I am going to go with the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, which is heavily rumored to be coming out in the not too distant future. What'd
Yeah.
you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, so I forgot about that one.
Yes, so that is supposedly coming out. It is an unnamed game right now listed as coming out 2026, but it has heavily been rumored. So I'm going to pick the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. The first one, the original, is one of the most beloved of all the Assassin's Creeds. And I think Assassin's Creed 2 is the only one that's rated higher than it, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake can do for the video game industry out there. So yes, we've seen some successful remakes. I mean, the Oblivion remake was a big hit last year for Xbox, one of their few big hits last year. So I'm hoping to see the same thing from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. All right, my friend, we're coming down to it. It is, of course, the Video Game Fantasy League. It's Josh Pederson along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Your number 10 pick on the list of video games coming out this year, you hope are coming out this year.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. All right. Yes, this is a I've seen the advanced video, so yes. So this is a game that is supposed to come out this year. What brought you to that series?
So as an esports coach, like the most popular games that the kids want to play are the fighting games, right? They want to play Mortal Kombat, they want to play Street Fighter, but there hasn't been like a decent Marvel fighting game that's come out. You know, not one that's stood on its own branding. So I think that this game could very well be the next like esports sensation. That's why I'm leaning so hard into it.
Okay. And how do you think it's going to generate with audiences?
I think pretty well because the characters are. It's going to be because what makes like Super Smash Brothers such an accessible game and something that parents actually let their kids play is the fact that everybody knows who these characters are, right? And that they know that it's not necessarily like a ultra bloody or violent game. And I think that's where if you looked at the trailers for the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, it's the same thing, right? It's just it goes back to the basics of what made those arcade games so much fun. So
All
I think
right.
that, yeah, yeah.
So I can't say I disagree with you on that. But do you think it's going to resonate with like the way Marvel Rivals has resonated with people?
It's hard to say, man. Like honestly, I think that the Marvel games all have legs for sure, and so we'll just have to wait and see. But I think I'm pretty sure that it'll be a hit.
Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. My 10 pick is going to be what my 10 pick was with TJ, and that is Mouse PI for Hire. This game is hitting me like Cuphead hit me. So I'm digging it, man. I'm really digging it. I really like that style, that art style. It's really looking like a beautiful game. It all depends on the gameplay and if you think that's going to resonate with people out there. Your thoughts, my friend, on Mouse PI for Hire, a game that stylizes itself after the 30s cartoons from the 1930s, and it looks like it's going to be a first-person shooter that has some teeth to it, per se.
It definitely looks like it's got a little something going on. I mean, it has the Cuphead vibes, but will it attract the same? Will people play it and expect it to be Cuphead? I guess is the big question here. Because if that's the case and it falls short, it could very well be one of the worst reviewed games of the year.
Very good point, indeed. So there's our list right there for our top 10. We're going to go with our alternates in a second, but let me go ahead and refresh everyone on what do we pick so far. Josh Pederson for pick number 1 is Forza Horizon 6. And then he picked Marvel's Wolverine, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Fable, Gears of War E-Day, 007 First Light, Pokemon Pokopia, Pragmata, Silent Hill Townfall, and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. My picks are GTA 6, Resident Evil Requiem, Replaced, Halo Combat Evolved, the Metal Gear Solid Collection, Control Resonant, Saros, the Fatal Frame 2 Remake, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, and Mouse PI for Hire. All right, my friend, these alternates are in case you want to swap one out, or if one gets moved out of the 2026 schedule, or two perhaps. So with that, my friend, what is your first alternate on the video game list?
Okay, so my first alternate is going to be shoot, it was just in my head. Hold on. It was there. It was there, man. What happened to it? Okay, so I'm gonna say, on the off chance that it does come out, I'm gonna say Final Fantasy Remake Part 3.
Final Fantasy 7?
7 Remake Part 3.
All righty, yes. Yeah, whenever I say that, I should just say Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 7. So Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3. Interesting. Why go down the realm of Final Fantasy 7 one more time?
Because I mean, at this point, we really need to just finish the story. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I know we've differed in opinion on this, but I think the remake games have been absolutely fantastic, but and really well done, and that the scores have all been, you know, eights to 9s to 10s, man. So I mean, it's a really just they've done something right, you know, and I think that the games have been well worth the $70 they cost to play.
Fair enough, my friend. So with that, for me, I'm going to go with what I said was a solid pick every year. Seems to score well every year, and that's MLB The Show for 2026. So I'm going to go with that. You can never go wrong with it. Unlike the other sports games that seem to go all over the place, MLB usually gets a solid 85, and there you go. So, yeah. And at least you know it's going to come out. So,
yeah, yep.
What's coming up next for you, my friend, with your final alternate pick for our list?
Okay, you ready for this? This one hasn't been discussed yet. It's just been rumored for years, but I think it's going to happen in October or November. We're going to see it. You ready? Resident Evil 1 remake.
Okay. Why do you think that's going to happen?
Because it's going to happen. It's been talked about for so long. It's the one that people have been clamoring for the most, right? And completionists have been begging for this game. Like, come on, man, just give it to us. And finally, people are talking about it. So I think it's going to happen.
When TJ picked the final pick of his list for especially the last alternate, he picked a game that I was actually strongly considering putting in here instead of what I picked to WWE 2K26. So with that, I'm going to go with Onimusha, Way of the Sword, for my final pick.
Also forgot about that one.
So Onimusha, Way of the... This is, again, something that I took a look at after TJ picked it, and I wanted to go back and look at some of these games that I wasn't as familiar with or that were coming out this year. It does have a 2026 release date, and I'm going to go with Onimusha, Way of the Sword. It looks really good as far as a niche game is concerned. Yeah, so that's our list right there. Again, for me, it's GTA 6, Resident Evil Requiem, Replaced, Halo Combat Evolved, it's Halo Combat Evolved, Metal Gear Solid Collection, Control Resonant, Saros, Fatal Frame 2 Remake, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, Mouse PI for Hire, MLB The Show 2026, and Onimusha Way of the Sword. I gotta put instead of that's what I was missing is the. And then you are Forza Horizon 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Fable, Gears of War E-Day, 007 First Light, Pokemon Pokopia, Pragmata, Silent Hill Townfall, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, and Resident Evil 1 Remake. So, how are you feeling about your picks before we get to, with our time left, a Marvel review, MCU review?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I think that I went the safe route this year, but also like there's not really a lot that has been confirmed is coming out in a certain month in 2026. So playing it safe, man.
Okay, absolutely. So we will be able to determine this by December 30, by the last week of the year, as far as it's concerned, because the Metacritic scores for all these games already have come out for the games that do actually end up releasing. So we will be able to go ahead and determine this for our next time around, my friend. It will be the box office movie format. So we already have the rules established. Do you want domestic or internet, worldwide numbers?
Worldwide numbers.
Okay, so because you are taking the big risk with TJ took the domestic, so we will go with worldwide numbers, and it will be that one will be when we next pick next on that, which we'll do our next show on. Wanted to let you know that will be as of February 1st or of next year. TJ and I decided that February 1st is the cutoff point of next year for these games. Because if it comes out, for instance, like Avengers or Dune, let's say you pick that, the real money you can't say it will be made on it until the end of January to see where it goes. So
Okay.
whatever the numbers are to February. So just wanted to keep that in mind. So when we do our box office fantasy league, you and I just feel free to pick, movies even in December or November. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. I told you would enjoy it. I told you would enjoy the first video game fantasy league for us here this year. So a big shout out to sifted.net for creating this in the first place. Wanted to go ahead and make sure I give them some love once again. But it is a video game fantasy league. But before we head out, you said we have a MCU review in order. Where are we next on the timeline for the MCU?
We're on the first Avenger, man. Captain America 1.
Yes, one of my favorite movies, and I think a lot of people don't like when I talk good about this movie. It is probably the most watchable movie. I've probably seen that movie more often than any other Marvel movie, thanks to FX, because they just obliterated it to death in the 2010s,
Yeah.
rerunning it like crazy. I want to ask your thoughts on this though. Again, for me, I think it's his comfort. For me, it's like comfort food. It didn't really resonate when I watched it in the theaters, but for some reason, it just resonates as a TV product for me, and I've watched it time and time and time again. I don't know why. It just has, and I do enjoy it. I do think it's one of the better Marvel picks. I think it's very self-contained, really good pick, a period piece per se. I really think they captured that time in essence really well while going ahead and incorporating the Captain America theme and the Captain America, how he became Captain America. Your thoughts, my friend, on Captain America, the first Avenger?
I thought out of all the Marvel movies, I think it's the campiest, and that's not necessarily like a bad thing.
I think it's a product of its time.
It's a product of its time, but it was trying to, how the Great Gatsby, right, glorifies the Roaring 20s. I think that's what that's the tone that they were going for in the movie, and for all intents and purposes, it worked, right? So I think that I thought the movie was pretty well done. I wouldn't rank it as like my favorite of the pre-Avengers era films. I think Iron Man's definitely my favorite, but I think that it did it did what it needed to do in order to set up the Avengers movies. So I would say that's probably my second favorite out of the pre-Avenger films.
Okay. For me, it's there. I have, if you go to my list of my entire Marvel, I've done a breakdown of my countdown of all the MCU movies. That's available at popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. You will find Iron Man and Captain America, the First Avenger, right with each other. And Captain America is one spot ahead in ninth right now as we speak on this. So for me, and like I said, it's just comfort food. It is a period piece. It is, like you said, campy, but to me, it's fun because I
Yeah.
think it doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't get too serious. It is what it is. But then again, it's a product of the time period that it's in the middle of World War II. The U.S. is not winning. Hydra is and Germany are gaining a foothold, and you go in and you change the narrative with what happens with Red Skull and Captain America. And I just thought, as a good originator for both of those characters, I thought it really, really worked well.
Yeah.
And I, again, as I watched it on TV several times because they just kept rerunning it to death. It's like it's one and out for me, one of those background movies whenever it appears. It's just like, okay, it's there, it's on. I know it's like there. I can go ahead and catch it anytime. I know what to expect already. It just seemed like it knew exactly what it was. The music of the period in time. That's the thing. One of the things that impresses me that's under the radar is the fact that the music itself encaptures that time really, really well. Star Spangled Man it should have been a nominated song the year it came out because of how well it incorporated those years of 1940s. And it just allows me in some small way to understand what people that were going through what they went through that period. So I mean, I know it glorifies it a little bit. It kind of pasteurizes it a little bit. Obviously, it was something a little bit different, but there's still something like when I can watch that movie and get a little bit of an idea of exactly what went on in the 1940s in wartime US and wartime Europe.
So yeah, so what's interesting to me about Captain America is that Captain America was originally designed as a propaganda character, right? Like the intent of Captain America was to get Americans to both sign up for the war and to support the war effort. Like that was one
And
of
they promote that in the film.
yeah, yeah, and they did a great job. So you watch Captain America and it almost feels at points like a propaganda film. Like
Mhm.
they're like it's like what the comic book was meant to do, it does in the movie. So you watch it and because like I always struggle with things that kind of like make light of like what world happened during World War II. So like from that perspective, I'm like, I know that that was like a really dark time in American history or in just world history, but also like the film, it probably felt to us watching it like a kid did, picking up that first issue of Captain America back in the 40s and being like, oh wow, yes, America, heck yeah,
Minus the Tesseract and blue lasers. So I'll
Right,
just
right.
say so what's next on the agenda for the MCU review, my friend?
Well, we're going into the Avengers, man. This is it.
All right. This is it. This
We
is
made it.
indeed the big one. Actually the movie, I think that just kicked it to another level and ensured the longevity of the MCU with the Avengers next time around. So I'm looking forward to that conversation indeed. But my friend, it's been a great episode. You have been initiated into the Video Game Fantasy League. What are your thoughts before we head on out?
It was fun, man. I mean, I think we'll definitely I'll have to be a little more prepared next year because I feel like I wasn't 100% sure what the formatting of this was going to look like, but next time I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
And I'm a veteran of one time, so I had that up on you. I had that up on you. But
Yes.
box office is coming up next for you and I. So I'm looking forward to doing the box office fantasy league with you, my friend. And if you have any questions out there, please let us know. Popculturecosmos at yahoo.com. So for Josh the Great Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the Pop culture cosmos. Thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Cosmos.